Welcome to Gapology Radio Podcast with authors Mark Tinas and Brian Brockhoff. We can be reached at gapology.org, and our books can be found at amazon.com.
Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Gapology Radio. Let's give Mark a call and see what he's doing.
Hey Brian.
Hey Mark, how are you?
I'm great, how are you?
Good. You getting all packed for your trip?
Yeah, looking forward to it.
That's good. I don't know how you make time for vacations.
Oh, it's a discipline I have. It's a time management skill that I possess,
Really? Well, we should maybe talk about that.
You ready?
Yeah, it sounds like we almost planned that, right?
Yeah. So, we're going to talk about the segmentation discipline. The segmentation discipline. Now, the good news is nobody's ever heard of it, so you're on the cutting edge. If you're listening to this podcast, you're on the cutting edge.
Yeah, pull over, take notes.
Yeah, this is a big deal. You ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
So, we found a time management process on steroids, and it's simple. So, we felt obligated to share it with you. If you look at today's leaders, they are distracted. They're not disciplined. They are distracted. People are multitasking to the point where they're unproductive. Multitasking often makes it sounds like there's an assumption in there that it's highly productive. Not necessarily. In fact, we believe it to be low productivity in many cases. If you keep going back to your email or to your devices throughout the day continuously, you are unproductive. You are unproductive, or at least less productive than you would be otherwise. So the frequency of device review is mind-boggling. There are those of you out there that are going to the device a dozen times an hour throughout the day. That creates low productivity, and we believe it to be destroying productivity. So we found a solution. So what do you think, Brian? Shall I share it?
Yeah, I think everyone needs this. It's almost dangerous. When you're saying that, I was thinking about driving, and you see how many people who are, they're on their gadgets while they're driving. They're putting on makeup. They're doing all sorts of crazy things when they should have their hands, on the wheel, focused on what they're doing.
Yeah, totally.
Yep.
So we found a group of highly productive leaders that claim, and we believe it to be true, that they are getting more done now by noon than they were getting done previously in the entire day. So they are doubling productivity with the simple methodology we're going to share with you right now. And again, we're calling it the segmentation discipline. So here's how it works. They simply segment the day, and they segment each hour into 4 pieces. So let's take 8 o'clock to 9 o'clock in the morning, 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. For many of us, the first hour of the day of work. 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. is divided into 4 segments. Every hour is divided into 4 segments. So 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. is 8.1, 8.2, 8.3, and 8.4. The first 15 minutes, the second 15 minutes, the third 15 minutes, and the fourth 15 minutes. So at the beginning of the day or at the end of the prior day, the day is laid out. The next day, the upcoming day, is laid out in segments. And it is amazing what you can weave into an hour if you really work on it. So an example of one of the hours that I'm looking at, it is segmented as follows. The first 15 minutes is email catch-up. Now, I will tell you the 15 minutes prior to that, which would have been 7:45 to 8 a.m., they did the setup of the day. So they took 15 minutes out of the prior hour to begin the day, knowing the workload, knowing the previously scheduled meetings, etc. So they then scheduled 8-1 as an email catch-up time frame. 15 minutes to sort out and see what else might be in there and delegate, respond, etc. The second 15 minutes was touch base with an assistant or an associate on upcoming events of the day. So there was a 15-minute conversation. There was a phone interview done in 15 minutes, limited to 3 questions, by the way, that was plugged into the third segment. And the fourth segment, you're going to love this, Brian. You won't even believe it. You don't know this one.
What's that?
The fourth segment, so what would have been 8:45 to 9 o'clock in this case, and every other fourth segment throughout the day was reading a book. So they plugged into every other hour 15 minutes of reading time.
Oh, I love that.
Developmental time. Whether it was audible or whether it was actually reading, they plugged in 15 minutes of development every other hour, getting better every day. You would not have believed how much this individual got accomplished this day. It was crazy. And again, they really only did the device 15 minutes every other hour, by the way. They still got it all done. By the end of the day, they were caught up on everything that was on the device. I mean, why let chaos rule? So I've given a lot of information, Brian. I'll turn it to you for a few minutes, and then I'll come back.
Yeah, actually, I just have a couple questions. So
Sure.
I love this story. How did that person handle the pings? So, every time your email goes off, every time you get a text, every time Facebook or whatever notification pops up, a lot of times people have a little ping or a buzz or something that pops up on their phone.
It's not part of the segment, therefore it's not relevant. So they are not allowing chaos to rule. They're very disciplined.
Love that. That's great.
So there may be in certain environments a need to insert into each hour a device catch-up. But we are, as a society, just doing it too often, and it's a total waste of time. We literally are wasting maybe a quarter or a third of the day on device review when there was no review needed and when other things could be accomplished.
Yeah, I love that. So often I'm in a meeting and people, their devices are buzzing or whatever. I just shut mine off. It's just totally off. So then if I want to check something, I'm the one who gives myself the notification. I don't let my gadget give me the notification.
Well, you're bringing up a great point. So in one of the meetings I witnessed with the Segmentation Discipline group, devices were not allowed to be brought in.
That's even better. Love that.
Now the meeting was fast and furious and productive. There were no devices. It was a meeting. There were no devices.
That's great.
It was not a multitasking environment. It was a true meeting. So again, I come away with the question: why let chaos rule the day? Why not be disciplined? Now there are changes to the day that happen. They're unavoidable. When those happen, you can quickly, because the day's already segmented, again, you've segmented the day either right at the beginning or you've segmented the day at the afternoon or night before. Because the day is already segmented, if you make changes to the day, it's fairly simple. You just rearrange the segments. So you can actually respond to an emergency situation or a chaotic email from your boss or something that throws it off fairly quickly. It doesn't have to rule. Chaos does not have to rule. So you simply change the segments. And again, I'm telling you, I believe that they are getting more done by noon than they were getting done in the full day. I believe they're getting more done by noon than most of us are getting done in the entire day because of the lost productivity of continuously going back to devices and email and texting and other mechanisms of communication where it is not needed. So by having the discipline of segmentation, they are totally allowing the discipline to rule, not chaos to rule. So I was just blown away. And then to throw in development every other hour, they had me.
It's interesting that the two words, segmentation, discipline, I think to make this really work, you really need both. You need to segment your day, but you have to have the discipline to do it and to flex to it and make it part of your life. It's really the two things added together, I think, really makes this work.
Yeah, I love that. The other thing that occurred to me when I was observing the group was simply that time is the most valuable commodity that we have, potentially.
Yeah, for sure.
So wasting time is significant, but being productive is really significant, and it's a game changer. So I would challenge everyone out there to give this a shot, stick with it. It won't be easy. Make it work. Report back, and we'll do a podcast on you. We decided that we wanted to share it with you and share it with the world because we think it's that significant, and it's so simple. I mean, it's crazy. So you can't Google this right now and suddenly have it be there. There's nothing there for the segmentation discipline. Mm-hmm. But you could do it starting tomorrow. So we challenge all of you, get it done, report back, and let's all be more productive.
Yeah, Mark, I would just want to throw in one other thought that just kind of occurred to me. When you're going in and you're segmenting and you're trying to set up your day, I would start with what are the things that are really driving your purpose? So let's block out time for those things, those really most important things in your life, the things that really matter. Let's block those things out first, and then kind of fill it in with all the other tasks and things that we have to do.
Yeah, that's wonderful. So if you think about it, the segmentation discipline is also a form of prioritization. You can totally prioritize your day based on what matters most. So driven by purpose can be carved right in. In the case, in the example I was using, that person valued their own development. So they literally were carving in development, which would be, what would that be? A segment, if they worked 8 hours, that would be 1 full hour of reading or audible listening during a day. That's of great significance. That hour would have been wasted prior, going back to a device where there was nothing new to report.
Right.
So,
Yeah. Love it, Mark. This is a good one. I think a lot of people are going to get a lot out of this one. So.
Yeah, I hope so.
Okay.
All right, thank you, Brian.
All right, Mark. Thanks. Have a great vacation.
Everybody.
We'll talk to you.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, we'll talk to you when you get back.
Bye-bye.
Bye. All right, and that'll do it for another episode. Head on over to our website, gapology.org, for more information. Everyone have a fantastic week. We'll talk to you soon.
This has been a Gapology production. Visit us at gapology.org.